Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. I'm your host Miguel here, my co-host Charlie, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about the latest Funko news and drops. There was a ton of them recently.
And if you're listening right now on podcast platform, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel where we have tons of other great content. And when you get there, make sure you subscribe, smash the like buttons, and comments on our videos. All right, now let's chat.
All right, everyone. So let's talk about the latest news is what we're going to start off this episode with. And we have been gone for a little while. So obviously, we've taken a little break here and there. It's been crazy. Schedule's been nuts. My work schedule and everything has been crazy too as well. So we're back though, and we're back with some news, which I know we've been gone for a little while, but just within the last week, man, there's been a ton of announcements. And I feel like what's funny is when we were doing news, there was a couple weeks that we would have a lot of news. And for a little while, we had some news weeks that were pretty dry, nothing crazy. But I think now that we're getting into heat of like the summer, I feel like is when we're like either getting stuff that's coming out now or being announced for the end or into the fall. And obviously with the big cons coming and stuff. But what do you think about like something that kind of just jumped out at you? Because there's a ton of stuff obviously that we're going to cover, but what was something that was
the thing that jumped out at me immediately was the Star Wars gaming greats. I love that they continue to build out that line, and they've always been GameStop exclusives, which makes sense, which I really like it. This time we're getting 4 new pops. It's a range of a bunch of different games from Jedi Fallen Order, Force Unleashed. I just think these pops look really awesome. I have every gaming greats Star Wars Funko Pop, so it's a line that I definitely want to continue to collect. And I'm really happy with one of these characters. He's from Force Unleashed. It's not the character that everyone wants. Everyone wants Star Killer, and people are hoping that character. He was like the main character of the Force Unleashed games, if you guys are familiar or not familiar with it. And he was Vader's apprentice, and a lot of people really want a Funko Pop in his form. And the fact that they're made one now from that game, everyone's like, this is hopefully going to come sooner rather than later. So, but all in all, I'm just really excited for this line.
The new ones in the line. This line, so I was actually going to ask you, because I didn't know. So I never played any of the games. I don't know too many of those characters and stuff. I know that they've made gaming pops, but I see, not knowing, I thought the game greats, I thought it was like a new thing. I didn't realize. So are all the gaming Star Wars pops under that like line, gaming greats or whatever?
They started it like a few years back when they came out. It was Darth Revan, who's like probably the most popular Star Wars gaming character from the Knights of the Old Republic, and they've kind of continued on through that. And they normally come out with a few every time. It's never been just like one, and it's been like a wide range of like games before Disney bought Star Wars and so they're not canon anymore. But then there's been games that they've made since Disney bought Lucasfilm, and they kind of just randomly come out. Like when I saw this announcement the other day, I'm like, this is random. Like there's no reason for these to come out now. But I actually,
they're not new games, right?
Yeah, they've already. And there's nothing like but it was exciting that okay, we're getting some new cool like random Star Wars pops.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, it's good to see cool pops, and it's cool to see different characters of people, not the always seeing the other Darth Vader, another Yoda. Like it's cool to see those, but like it's also cool to see because there's so many characters in that universe and world, obviously. So it is cool to see something new. But yeah, that was something that was pretty cool. I don't like I said, I've never played any of the games. I've actually contemplated getting one of the games just because they look like they're actually pretty sick. So like maybe I'll try to check them out.
You should get Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
That's like the newest game. It's actually very well received, and the sequel is coming out. Nice. And it was like the first like big game for Star Wars that was a story, especially on next gen console. So you can get like a PS5 version. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I know they make, what is it, Battlefront? Is that Battlefront, which is like a Call of Duty style type of thing, right?
It is. Where the Jedi Fallen Order is just like a standalone, like single player story, like campaign. But it's really awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll definitely have to check that out. But one of the things that I mean, got me super excited, and I actually put a poll up, so I wanted to actually show the results of like how that went. Is they announced the Fun Days box of
Yes.
fun and the actual like mascots, which I think we had gotten like silhouettes, and then we got an idea of like what the names were maybe going to be, but now we actually got what the pop is going to look like, the actual mascot itself specifically. And for those of you who don't know, obviously box of fun during Fun Days is something that comes out around San Diego Comic-Con, and this is like a specific box that you can order, which is where you get a lot of these exclusive Freddy Funkos. Last year's one was like Olympics themed, I guess you can
Yeah,
say.
it
Not all of
was.
the pops were, but I guess that was like the overall theme. Where we had a few different pops that came out. I was able to get that box. I know because it's one that you get chosen for, so it's not like guaranteed that everyone's going to get it. But however, last year was strictly ordering, so I'm interested in to see how this one's going to go, and how many they're going to make, because
Yeah,
there's an actual event, the
both.
Fun Days event, and then online. So are they going to split up the numbers, or we're going to get higher numbers? Who knows? But basically, the four, if you are watching here, you can see the four mascots. If not, you can obviously head over to our YouTube channel, make sure to check it out, or you can see these online either way. But we have pop protectors. The theme, again, by the way, we spoke about this a long time ago, but the theme is Blacklight. So this year's is a Blacklight theme, which I know when it first came out, we were kind of like a little suspect on like,
I agree.
that's
But
a good
after
thing or a
seeing
bad
these,
thing. But yeah,
they
I'm
look pretty
excited
cool.
because these look pretty cool. And if obviously we haven't seen any what the Freddy's are going to look like, or what some of these big hits and things are going to look like, those I'm sure will leak little by little, because that's usually what
Yes.
happens. But it gives me like, it got me excited to think that like, okay, that means that these pops probably going to be pretty cool. So basically we have pop protectors, which is essentially like a lion, kind of a king with like, a sword, and then his not cape, but what is it called? What is it? What?
I can't think of.
There's a name for it, and I'm totally
Is, but
blanking. It's not a
yeah.
cape because
No,
it's
it's
something
not a
different, but
superhero.
it's like, yeah, it's something that like a king would wear type of thing, like a robe or something. So there's that pop protectors. Then we got Proto Robos, which is a robot style, but to me it looks kind of more like a transformer, I guess you
It
could say.
looks just like a
Like
transformer.
totally like it would fit into the Transformer family. Then we got Killer Clowns, which this thing looks amazing. And it's obviously a clown. He's also in a straitjacket. Super cool. Kind of crazy. Then we got Blacklight Bandits, which this one and the pop protectors are the two most vibrant in color, even though they're all essentially like Blacklight. The Blacklight Bandits, and he's like a little like raccoon, I think, with like
Yep.
a graffiti like spray in his hand. So that one's a pretty cool one too as well. So I did a poll just on my page just to kind of see like what was the hype that everyone was thinking. What team are you trying to go after? And I'm Killer Clowns. Like that's who I want to get myself. I think you said what, pop protectors?
Pop protectors. I think I'm going to go for, yeah.
Pop protectors. So based off of the votes that I was able to get, we had 50% of them said Killer Clowns. Actually, 21% was pop protectors. 18% was Blacklight Bandits, and then the last one was actually Proto Robos, which I probably am not surprised with that. Like I feel like the Proto Robos is probably the lesser one of them.
It's random.
It is kind of random. And they're all, I mean, kind of random. I guess it's just like, because even like last year, what did they have? They had like, I ended up getting the punk.
It was like a punk. Yeah,
it was
you
like a
got the
punk
punk
one.
Mine looked like
but there was like
a
few
knight.
random ones.
There was
a night one. So I guess the new king one, that's like
kind of goes together. I think that's like why I want it. And there was like, I don't remember there
was a cowboy looking
maybe
one.
The name. It was like it looked like a tornado.
Oh yeah, that was weird. And then there was the one with the bandit. It was like a bandit
one.
basically.
Yep. Yeah, like
I guess they are kind of similar, like type of style. I don't know. It's weird.
They tried to keep yes, which like I would say the Killer Clowns is like the punk rock one.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though the Proto Robos is that goes along, I think, with the name of that one. So it's interesting. They're now like, I can't correlate them. They're all random.
Obviously just 4 different ones, but it's cool to see the box, and that was actually what was being. Now we're actually getting the official announcements of these, so very excited, super cool.
You're getting much less this year, though.
What do you mean?
So last year in the box, yeah, because last year you got like the pop of Brian and Mike. You got you got the pop of like the torch for the Olympics. you got your mascot, and then you got your 3 Freddies. This year, it seems like you're just getting the 3 Freddies and the mascot, which I'm curious if it'll be
Because it is,
cheaper.
I was gonna say, because I'm looking at the picture. Hold on. So it's only 4 pops, right? Yeah, it's the 3 exclusives and then the mascot. So now what I'm thinking, partially, like, yeah, maybe it's cheaper. I don't know. I feel like they could still get everyone for that same price tag. Who
Yes.
knows? But I'm thinking because now we're getting the ones in the location and we're getting ones that are going to be mailed out essentially, is that maybe there's just more of them, like the limited
boxes.
number, because basically like the amount of the box is supposed to be to a limited number, and then the 3 pop, like the 3 other pops, they usually have their own limited number. I think last year there was 1,000 ones, 2,000 and 3,000 piece.
Correct.
So, and not everyone got one of each, but for the most part it seemed like you would get like one of each. But then you also got your, like you said, your mascot, which is what this is. And then, I mean, we don't know. They could still be giving us more swag and stuff like they did with the other one, but maybe just not as many pops. Like you're not getting the Brian, Brian and all those other extra stuff. So I don't know. We're gonna see. It's pretty cool though. But let us know for sure. Like that was definitely something we've been looking for, to see what that announcement was going to be for these pops and what they were going to look like. So it's interesting and it's cool to see them for sure. But what else was?
Yeah, another big one. I'm keeping on my Star Wars train. They came out the next Power of the Galaxy, which we talked about in the past, which is an Amazon exclusive series of like the best women of Star Wars. This one is of Jen Erso. She was the star of Rogue One. We have a few Jen Erso pops. I think there may have been 2 in the Rogue One line, and then one that came actually in the Smuggler's Bounty. But this one, I really like these pops. Actually, I'm a huge fan. I've been collecting them. It's just keeps
They're all
getting more
Amazon,
and more.
right?
They're all Amazon. Just the more and more detail, even for something as simple. I mean, she's just wearing a basic outfit, but just like looking at the image of this pop versus my other ones in the collection, the detail in the Star Wars pops is just getting so good. And I mean, all pops in general, but the Star Wars ones, I really just am loving.
I was gonna say that, like, that's one of the things I noticed. I mean, granted, like the presentation of it's always nice, like the background and the pictures, like it's like really cool. But the pops themselves definitely are more, and they're like kind of simple outfits and simple looks, but they are more detailed with the little like it's just not as plain looking, like you said, and the colors and everything. The paint jobs you can tell really well, and those definitely are like something that's making them like more, like wanted, I guess you could say. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably gonna want them no matter what. And it's cool characters. It's not something. It's more original, like we were saying before, like with the game ones even. So it's cool to see like these types of ones. We also have a Marvel pop that. So I'm confused with this because we got leaks and then like we didn't, and all this stuff. So we got another Thor pop, and this is the Zeus character, which I want to say like a long time ago we had actually gotten a leak, or supposedly we thought we were going to get a Zeus pop, whatever.
Yeah.
But then the Thor pops kind of came out. We didn't.
It wasn't announced.
We didn't really see anything of that. It wasn't announced. Yeah. And then San Diego Comic-Con pops started getting announced. And then we got the official announcements. And then we thought they were good. And then we actually got a late released one, which was
from the new Game of Thrones spinoff.
From the Game of Thrones, from the Game of Thrones show, the new one that's coming out, which we had rumored that was going to be
in our OG list.
It didn't get announced, and then it randomly came back out, and now it's added to the list. So then there was pictures that were being released of this Zeus pop with Comic-Con stickers on it that it's supposed to be San Diego. But then, if I'm not wrong, like Funko announced it, but just as a regular release, right?
You can pre-order it right now.
Yeah, it's not a San Diego release. So whoever has that box, or wherever that box or picture was from that has this sticker on it, I guess it's a pretty rare mistake or whatever it is. But it's interesting that it came out. But I mean, it's a cool pop. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, it's one of the
it probably would have been a good con pop, actually.
Yeah,
like I'm surprised when they just announced it.
And they just did. I don't know. It's really weird. It's just one of those things that it's like it's not what you like. It's like a fumble that they made that you didn't think they would.
It's funny you say that. I think that's probably what happened. It was supposed to be. They're not going to get it in time. They made it a pre-order, and they just happened to announce it when the movie came out to make it look like it was intended that way. because just announcing this
Mm,
one pop is completely random. It's not
yeah.
like a Disney Plus series where they do it after the episodes are announced. For all you know, like I mean, we don't need to get into this, but I know firsthand people from Funko are looking on YouTube, they're watching people's channels, or on Instagram, looking at people's stuff, and someone maybe saw that and they're like, we should just announce this pop now.
It's so weird. It's just crazy. I think like the way like things get leaked and like how many how many pictures you see. And that's the thing. It's not just like, yeah, we get people that do rumors and leaks and stuff where you get like lists or names or whatever.
But when you
But
see the
like when you see the
actual, yeah,
pictures, it's like how are these
what?
people like or who's on the inside? Like what's going on here? As
I
far as
agree.
that goes.
It's so random. Um, Another big thing that finally came out, sticking on the Marvel train, was the Winter Soldier soda, Funko Shop exclusive.
Yep.
I don't know why that took so long to finally come up, and it's still, I mean, it was a cool soda. I got it for my collection, but
Mhm.
it's still just sitting there on the Funko Shop.
Yeah, it's there. I think it's a pretty decent piece count, even
Yeah,
though it is
it's
a Funko
20.
Shop
Yeah.
exclusive. But again, like that just shows you, especially when you're a soda collector and you know about sodas and you know the different numbers. Like with pops, you don't. So it makes more sense now that when you can look at it on a soda level, it just shows you that the whole aspect of a Funko exclusive really isn't exclusive in number. It's just exclusive that it's only sold there and it has their
Yes.
sticker. That's essentially what they mean by this. And that's like a perfect example because a 20,000 piece soda is a very big soda. That means like it's one of the higher ones. And for it to be an exclusive, you would think it would be 8,000 or 10 or even 15, 12. But yeah, it's a high number, but it's up there. I grabbed it as well. I mean, I've been looking for it. I have all of the Marvel sodas at this point, not common and chase options of everyone, but at least one of all the ones that have been released. Um, and this was just like another one that I was like, you know what, I want it, but I'll just grab two like I normally do. And then, I haven't gotten it in yet. So whenever it does come in, I'll open it up, try the video. Hopefully I get one and one and get a comment and chase. But it is a cool one for sure. It's interesting that it's just kind of sitting there. It's just like, is there no hype behind that? Or is it just because there's so many of them or people
What's
just
what I've
not?
noticed recently when, and obviously 20,000 is a lot, but when Funko has an exclusive that I noticed a lot with the cons, like when you can buy all the pops and the sodas on Funko.com and then the shared retailers, if it's just a Funko web only, they normally sit there. Like you can
Yeah.
still get the Luke Skywalker soda from Star Wars
Yes.
Celebration. You can
Yeah. Which
still
that's
get
odd.
like the Emperor's New Groove sodas from one of the last cons. That was a Funko Shop exclusive, still is on
Yeah.
the site. It's like kind of crazy to me, but they don't need to share you know, the product with anyone else. It's just
Yeah.
there.
But it also
Um,
kind of shows you that maybe people really do buy and prefer sometimes some of these other retailers
yeah,
than directly through Funko. So like maybe they're just, that they're losing out on the random people who just like going to Target or getting stuff from Hot Topic or whatever it is, and they're missing out on those. But I do notice what you said, like these ones are sitting there. Like, yeah, the Emperor News Groove one is still sitting there. And then I thought like the Luke one I was like, why would it sit there and then the Boba Fett would sell out? But then
the
I started
Boa
thinking,
one.
I was like, maybe because there's another Luke one that had come out,
Well, no,
but
the
there is
Boba
another
one
Boba.
never made it to the con. No one got that one in person there.
Oh, so that was strictly was
It was supposed to be, but it was one of those ones that like
so if you
wasn't
wanted it,
there.
you had to buy it directly to there
Yeah.
versus some of the people that got the Luke.
Because I even looked
Interesting. And they
too,
were the
like
same number, I think.
speaking of Celebration, like out of all the pops that had come out, like the OG ones that we've talked about that were of the new celebrating the anniversary of A New Hope,
Mhm.
Vader was the only one that wasn't a shared exclusive. Now I look at all those pops and Vader to me would be the most popular one. That's the only one that's still sitting on Funko's website to this day too,
It is.
because it
It's
was
so weird.
only a Funko Shop one. You could not get it at Target. It wasn't one of the Hot Topic ones. It's just interesting. There's that
Yeah.
much more stock that they keep for themselves when it's just for them that they have to split.
Yeah. That's true. So it's probably a lot of that. And then Yeah, just maybe like the being exclusive to them and not everyone shopping on Funko, even though if you collect, like, because there might be people that collect Funko Pops and don't buy anything through Funko. They just buy
Yeah.
them because they buy Pops through whatever stores they like to go to or whatever. Maybe they don't like ordering things and they rather pick them up, and actually, there's no Funko besides Hollywood. There's not really like a Funko store everywhere that you can just go
No.
into.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But the another drop along the lines with Marvel and along with Funko Shop exclusive is the Moon Knight. There was a Moon Knight Funko Shop exclusive pop that released. Obviously, we got the Moonlight pops kind of announced little by little, and we were getting a few of them dropped. I had said back when they first came out, I was like, "Oh, these look amazing!" The way him and like his suit and bandaged up white, and there was like a glow version and stuff. But I thought they like overdid that. Like there was a few different versions. Although the Funko Shop exclusive one looks super cool. I know there's a glow one. I said there's one of him like kind of jumping and stuff. So, but it's still sitting there. Like it's been out for a few days and it's still available. There's even the Mr. Knight one, which is a cool one, which is literally essentially like redoing that Grail, that OG pop that like blew up in price once Moon Knight show came back out. They kind of just redid that pop now in like a common version, and it's like it's sitting around. Maybe because people have the other one, they don't want it, whatever. But it's an interesting thing. But it kind of goes back into what you said about Funko Shop exclusives specifically that are only coming through Funko and them not really, they're not selling like they used to, because I think, like I said, it's not as exclusive as you want to say, and they probably make so, especially with pops, just because it's exclusive doesn't mean they're not making 100,000 of them. Like that's what I feel like they're doing. But the soda is why I was kind of shocked, because I was like, that's numbered. Although I have a feeling like some of these numbers are kind of fugazi. I don't know if like they're actually making that many. And I mean, I have different reasons why I think that, but and it's with that and it's with the chases, because there's some like weird, funky stuff going on with like numbers and stuff.
I don't disagree. I don't think it's I think I texted you this week. Like sometimes I feel like they fake the demand on their website. Like I think the Hopper and Joyce one, it stayed up for a few days. I thought it wasn't going to sell out. People are like still hardcore talking about Stranger Things. All of a sudden it's sold out, and it says we're going to have a notify me again.
Yeah, like they have more, obviously.
They have more.
They're holding on stock.
Like I feel like they wanted to like act like this was a hot product that sold out.
Yeah, they build a hype, build a FOMO, and then once it's dropped, the FOMO builds up even more. So then when they get another drop, you're going to be all over it, and they know they're going to sell it. But yeah, it's interesting how like how they're doing things and how like this. I mean, it's a company, so whatever, they're going to make money. But are you a big U2 fan?
I mean, I like you too. I
was gonna say I'm not like a big fan, but I know they dropped some pops, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, I thought they looked pretty cool. It's just funny. Like, I kind of want to get the 4-pack, because I'm a big enough fan to want the pops in my like music collection.
Yeah.
I just I think it's weird that I know we've talked about this in the past. Like, they're going nuts with 4-packs, 3-packs, this and that. I wish it was just the 4-pack of the band and they didn't make them all then individual.
Yeah, because it's the same. Is it the same pops?
They're exactly the same.
It's not that.
It's so ridiculous. Like I just don't get it.
I really hate that. I don't like the having individual and 4-packs, 3-packs anyways, but I wouldn't dislike it as much if they were different pops, because then at least like there's a reason. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now and it's literally like yeah, the 4-pack would make more sense. Like it's super cool. It's the same mold. The box is obviously just going to be a little different because it's exclusive and it's like, it looks cooler, but like I don't know. I don't, but right away when I saw these though, I was all right, these are cool. Like I didn't think they did an amazing job with Bono. Like
I was just gonna say, it doesn't really look like
him. Yeah,
and his hair.
And they usually do spot on like some of these people. And like I get it, they did the glasses, like his big. So that's because I guess what it's supposed to be. But I don't know. I think they kind of didn't really hit on this mold. Like
no, the Edge is the best one in my opinion. Like if you're familiar with U2, like he looks the best in my opinion.
And I mean, I'm sure if you're a big fan, if you're a hardcore fan, I mean, you're probably gonna love this. I mean, you often then there's the one with him in the car. It's like a ride, which is that's a pretty cool one.
That is cool.
So there's obviously different ones, but like as a like not a fan, but just know them and like music, whatever, like I'm not like, wow, I need that. So I think it's going to be more something that would go to their hardcore fans and those kind of people. But I mean, I guess we'll see. But it is one of those situations where we got, like we've spoken about it before, and the fact that they have these multi packs and individuals, and it's literally the exact same thing, just in different boxes. Individual boxes are one big one. It's just like, come on, man. Like, there's got to be something else they can do with these goddamn
it
pops.
should have been a
Like,
different
just
outfit or
change up
something.
exactly. Even if it's just even if it was the same mold, it was a different outfit. Like,
I
come
don't.
on, like you gotta figure something out. Like, you can. Like, I get it. It's probably easier for them. It's a way to make money, but like, is it selling both? Are both of those selling enough to keep doing that, or do they just want to have the exact same thing in multiple varieties so like different people can want it? But
The only thing
I don't know.
they must have some sort of research that says people are buying both. That's all I can
Yeah.
think of. I mean,
And people maybe are, because you don't really see, especially the most packs, you don't see them sitting too much. You'll see some random ones that will be those ones that are, just sitting on a shelf forever, right? You'll see them sometimes, but you don't always see multi packs sitting around. I feel like the individual ones you
sit around,
especially with music and with sports and certain, ones that aren't as popular of like lines. Like, I know we love those lines, but not everybody does. You'll see them at a Target and there's like 50 of them. Like, they just stock the whole shelf of one character. But the multi-packs usually are the ones that sell. I would think that's the one that would be more popular, but like no one's gonna, I mean, maybe someone's gonna be like, oh, I just want a bottom. Maybe. But you think someone's gonna be like, oh, I just want one of the other guys, or I just want this guy? Like,
you
no,
took the
right?
words right out of my mouth. That's what I was gonna say, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna say it. No, they're not they're not all personalities enough. It's not like the Beatles. Even then, more people are gonna probably go towards the Paul McCartneys and the John Lennons, and not really like the hardcores will be like, oh, I'll get the George Harrison one, or I'll get it's just the Ringo one,
or
but
like
it's
the Doors, like
yeah.
you're gonna get the band. You're not gonna just
Even like Queen. I think the only, and maybe I'm wrong on this, Freddie Mercury is the only one who has individual ones.
I know they make the other ones. I just don't know if I'm seeing
And to
them in my
me,
head
that
as a
like
pack or
makes
not.
sense.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which I feel like is what probably would have happened with you too. I would have expected just the Bono one. I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Which maybe we'll still get one. Like, at this point, we probably will. Like, that totally makes sense. But it's just strange. I don't know. It's
The
one of those
only
weird
multi-pack that I think would be epic is if they made, and this is really niche, but the entire starting lineup of a baseball team.
Oh my god! Imagine.
I mean, that's almost in line with
BTS.
That's what I was about to say.
Pack or 9
They've
pack,
done it, so it's been done.
Ridiculously like insane looking box, but I mean, they could totally they could do a starting 5 of NBA.
You can make it as a diamond.
Starting 5
awesome.
isn't as crazy. I mean,
no, it's not.
That'd be crazy. But
I'm surprised they haven't done that, because it's clearly the multi-packs are working, but maybe the sports aren't as, we've said it before, they're not as popular as we want them to be. But
yeah, because I was gonna say the Wayne Gretzky pop multi-pack was pretty popular and was a pretty good pop. I mean, I actually have that pop.
So do I.
The multi-pack of it, and that's a pretty cool one. I mean, but yeah, multi-packs in sports I think are kind of a miss, and we're kind of veering off to a completely different thing. But I think that's totally because like I was just thinking in my head, and I'm like, I have the Shohei 2-pack, which I think still to this day is
that's a creative one to make.
Creative pops, because he's obviously a two-way player and he's amazing at both, and they made a pop with both of his versions in it, which is amazing. So I think they could totally do multi-packs with sports, with whether the same idea they did with Gretzky. Like, if it's a player who's playing on a couple teams, you have them on, have a LeBron on the Lakers, on Cleveland, Miami.
I don't know how they haven't made a Michael Jordan
so many LeBrons
like multi-pack of the Wizards, the Bulls with his 2 different numbers.
Oh, the 2 different numbers.
Also him on the White Sox.
I actually don't even think they make the Bulls in the 45 pop.
They do. It's very, I think it's pretty new. It was like a beta.
Oh, okay.
But they've never made like a Wizards one.
Yeah, or the Barons.
Yeah,
the White Sox.
I mean, that would be like, I don't know. That would be pretty cool. I would buy that.
Yeah, especially because they make so many of them. You know they can, so it's like they have that mold.
At this point, just do
But
it. But
But
on
that's
to
an
other
interesting thing.
news.
Yeah, for sure. But let us know. I mean, chime in if you guys have your thoughts on, multi-packs or what's going on with these drops and Funko Shop exclusives, like anything that we like kind of bring up. If you guys, jump in on this conversation,
Yeah.
because we love to like kind of try to comment back to you guys and like hear what everyone else thinks, and that makes us feel like we're not just crazy and just like kind of the only ones that are saying this. But I did want to bring this one up, and I'm actually very excited for this line. I believe it's not the initial. They already have these pops, right? The Godfather. I almost said grandfather.
Not of all these characters, but yes,
Yeah,
there's.
but they do have Godfather Pop,
Yep.
right? Like they
Yes.
exist, like
Yeah.
some really OG ones.
Yeah.
So the new line coming out. Is it part of a anniversary? Is that
Yeah. The
why?
50th
It is, right?
anniversary.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So it is an anniversary. I was gonna say, because I know the box and everything looks kind of special and everything's cool, which is super cool. Very excited for it. There's 3 of them that we're getting. It's all Corleone family. So we're going Vito, Michael, and Sonny, which is one amazing that we're getting these updated looks. It's cool. They got kind of like iconic looks and styles from the movie, so like you can point them out. But I like, because it's a newer mold, it's got the details. It's not as OG as like some of the other
the
plain
OG one is like
old one.
OG.
That like real simple like mold. And this one's pretty sick, but like it's kind of cool, but it's actually kind of crazy too, because it makes me think like what is gonna, because we're in this kind of world, but like what's gonna happen with the Sonny Corleone pop? Because obviously, if you guys don't know, the actor that played him, James Caan, did recently just pass away. Just passed away like a few days ago, actually. And these were announced before, they've been announced, but I have a feeling that 2 things. One, being the Godfather and just being such an epic, classic movie, that it's probably gonna be very popular. Is maybe, I'm assuming they're just all kind of common releases though, so there might be enough of them. But I see this being as something that's probably going to be really wanted, especially that Sunny one, I would think. I mean, all of them really should, but like because we're in that time right now, where that's where he just passed, kind of thing. Like I wonder if that would, now who knows, but we've seen pops in the past that has affected how like the demand is for certain pops because a person passed away or whatever happens. It also usually fluctuates with the value, but not all the time. So it's going to be an interesting one. Like if this is one of those ones, or is it just going to be another?
I feel like if it was already out, it'd be hard to get.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not, and it's just like a pre-order, they'll probably just make more of them.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe they'll just continue to produce them, and just, if they were smart, they won't. They would make it more of an exclusive type of thing.
They would,
but I guess
they're definitely
going to make the money, because I think they're going to know people are going to buy it. Because
all you have to do is go on to Entertainment Earth these days, and for some reason they legitimately are bringing back supposedly tons of pops, and it's not like that crazy like glitch that time that happened on Pop in a Box. Like I don't know if you've seen this, Migs, and I'm not trying to go off topic, but like all of a sudden you can basically get every Stranger Things pop ever made on Entertainment Earth, and like you can pre-order them. It says they're coming in between like July and September.
Really?
And I'm trying to think, the other day I was like searching for a pop, and
but it's like older seasons and stuff.
Yeah, all the pops that have already come out, and they seem to be doing that with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, big lines and waves. Because it makes it's interesting. Artists is like an interesting. I feel like we can have a whole episode on them alone, because they're very intriguing and interesting, and like it's a company that like I've known for a while, known about them. I've ordered some stuff through them. I've had issues with their pre-order system, but at the same time, I kind of like, because they don't charge you right away. You can always cancel, and like there's no problems with that. But they obviously have some sort of connection with Funko themselves, like officially.
Yes.
Because when Funko, obviously they have an exclusive, but certain places can have an exclusive. But with Funko, I've noticed that a lot of times when they officially announce that something, is officially out in pre-order, the links that they put up for where you can pre-order them, because if you guys know, Funko does not do pre-orders. They will say all their Funko Pops are pre-ordered, but it's never through. You can't pre-order through Funko Pop, like ever. They'll show you the notify me, and then when it officially drops, that's when you can get it. But Entertainment Earth, a lot of times, the link that you get routed to to make these pre-orders. So obviously, like, they gotta have some connection or some kind of relationship with them, right? Directly, because it's like always usually goes to them. But yeah, it's just like a weird one because they have so many things that you see on pre-order, and it might be a year later before you ever get
You ever get
notification
it.
if you're going to get it or if it's canceled.
But I
or
would
if it's
like to
pushed back
think
again.
Funko has told them it's coming. And now I was just looking on my phone real quick because I wanted to know the pop that I was looking at the other day. I really want a Homelander pop for my boys collection. Like I never was able to get the Homelander one, even though it's just a common, and no one has it unless, you know, I can obviously go to Whatnot or eBay.
Yeah.
But I can get it right now on Entertainment Earth. And they have all the boys pops back up there again. It's almost like they're like, the show's popular again. It's just the new season came out. Let's put them back up. But Funko must be telling them.
I feel like yes and no, because I feel like they're like, okay, we're going to get a stock of it. But at the same time, because of the way they do their policy and whatever it is like, I feel like they take the risk on like, let's post it up there, see if we get some people to buy. And if we get it, we fulfill those orders. And if not, we just keep pushing the date back, and then people end up canceling.
But wouldn't logic tell
like,
you that Funko's not making them anymore, though? Like they're old, quote unquote. I mean, I don't know if they're considered vaulted and what that even means anymore.
Yeah,
but they're like a few years old.
I'm assuming those aren't vaulted technically, even though I know we've talked about like the whole aspect.
But do you think
vaulted.
Stranger Things season 1 pops are considered vaulted because they're on Entertainment Earth? Like the ones you have right now in your background.
I'm looking at them to see if I think about seeing them in like a store. Or I've never seen them
anymore.
Like maybe in a small shop or something like that.
That they still have them.
Yeah, I don't know if like a normal chain or place would have them. Like they'll usually be up to date with whatever the latest season is, and you'll see some duplicates of those or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, obviously they are being told, I'm guessing, something, but what I'm saying is like maybe there's just like the allotment or the amount isn't like so concrete.
Correct.
So they kind of like, you know, like maybe they're only getting 10, you know, like, and they're going to be like, well, if anyone wants to sell them, and they just open it up to everybody. And then, you know, because I've had it. I mean, we've seen where like even through Funko, where they'll have something up back on sale because now they're big into doing the back in stock type of thing. And it's happened to both of us with two different types of pops. Where it's been there, we've ordered it, and then we get an email about a day or whatever later saying, oh, sorry, this is actually out of stock. And like, this is like baffling. It's so funny because we're going way off of news now, but regardless, whatever, you know, it's a podcast. We're supposed to be talking about this anyways. But it's like, it's funny to see like some of these pops that like they go up, and I never realized like, or not realized, but never like got, how does something get sold if the number isn't there? Like if they know they have 100, how are they letting 102 people click buy? Like there's gotta be a way that there's definitely
there's gotta be.
And I don't know, not even like a sophisticated or system. Something. Is that what it is? And like that kind of holds it, although that shouldn't be the case.
Well, Funko's been pretty good at telling you can't proceed then.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. We're both of us, we're talking about like pay, go through, and then you get a message saying like, oh, sorry, this pop can't be shipped to you.
Crazy.
And I was actually, the one for me was actually a new pop. It actually, I was just thinking about it. It wasn't a back in stock. Yours was old.
It was
the album,
Lincoln.
Right?
Yep, the Lincoln Park.
Yeah. So like that to me, I'm like, okay, maybe it was very limited, even though they shouldn't have let you cash out in general. But I can get why. Okay, maybe something happened. They ran out. Mine was a brand new pop. It was one of the F1 Formula One pops. They dropped two of them, which was Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, who's both on the Mercedes. Well, they're on the Mercedes team. He's now racing for Alfa Romeo. But I would have thought the Lewis Hamilton one was the one that was going to be the most popular. He's the most popular racer in the world for F1. And it wasn't. That one went through, and then the Bottas one actually came back like, sorry, this one has actually sold out. And I'm like, what the hell did that sell out? Like, why did it it didn't even say low stock? Like, at least when you get low stock, you get an idea. Okay, maybe I'll miss it. Maybe I won't find it. But
it's so funny though, to not to keep going off a tangent, but it involves this conversation. I've even had this is totally random, but I bought a Blue's Clues Funko Pop for my son Chip, and it sold out on Funko.com, and I had it in my cart. It was like one of those ones I like we say, we build carts when other things come on. It says it's sold out. It let me still check out, and I got it. So this is like complete opposite of what we're saying. So that's like super weird. How
It's
they
got to be a
have all
system
these,
thing.
yeah, so
It's
random.
nuts, but it's funny that like this is still happening. Like, come on, like really, Funko, like
Exactly.
you gotta
It
have
shouldn't be happening
systems in
anymore.
place. Come on now. I think that was pretty much the most, except for we did want to talk about this. That there's an NFT drop. So
Yeah.
guys, we always cover NFTs. We haven't been on for a while, like I said, but there's only been really one drop since. Obviously, the latest one before was the My Little
I'm a
Pony,
pony.
which if you guys are like we've said this before. If you're listening on our podcast, we absolutely love it. Continue to listen. We know you guys do it on your drives or when you're going to work, whatever it may be, on break, whatever. Continue to do that, but definitely check out our YouTube channel because one, obviously we put these videos up. Usually we like putting the news ones up so you can see the pictures of the actual pops, but we also do other random videos. A lot of the times it's going to be mostly like NFT breaks and stuff. So whenever we do get NFT packs, which Charlie usually gets all of them, I'll get pick and choose here and there. You'll be able to see what we opened up. And he actually did My Little Pony one. That's one of our latest videos, YouTube wise. So definitely check those out. But this week we have Hanna Barbera is the actual one that's going to be this time,
Yep.
July 12th. So if you guys are listening to this will be dropping off essentially the next day. So make sure that you get on the drop site. It'll be 11 a.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. Like I said before, so I hate that that's the time,
I know.
but whatever. So that's going to be on Tuesday. Make sure to jump in and try to get hopefully you guys can get these if you want them. But what do you think about just kind of overall, like, just like I said, it's a Hanna Barbera, but I have like a little mixed emotions with this. I think it's a super cool line. It makes sense. They have tons of Hanna Barbera on the Funko Soda side, and
Yep.
even with some Funko Pops. So it obviously is a license and a thing that they can continue to make, which makes sense. And the characters usually lend well to animation. So with an NFT, kind of makes sense.
I think this drop is going to be extremely popular. Number one, it's just saying that. Like a lot of, I mean, we talk about this all the time. Hanna Barbera is clearly one of Funko's, both Brian and Mike's, like favorite license. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten this yet.
Yeah, same.
But I think there's going to be people who have not gotten NFTs yet, and it's not even because they think they're missing on FOMO. They're going to come get this. Like I think there's very like hardcore Hanna Barbera like Funko collectors. That's all they collect.
Yeah.
So that's like one issue. I think, NFTs are just continuously so harder to get. I was lucky to get the My Little Pony ones. I know that has a pretty niche fandom. I got those one because
And it's sold pretty quick though.
They sold, that's what
Even
I'm
those.
saying. They sold pretty quick. So if those sold pretty quick, I think these are going to be even faster. But what do I think about them? I think the redeemables are a little weak, especially based off of, I saw some, like if you go, which is super cool if all of you aren't aware of this, if you go to the digitalfunko.com, like they'll show you the latest drop that's happening. And when you go look, they build an entire page out just for that drop. And right now they'll show you some of the cards that are going to come out from the common, all the way up to the epics, even the legendaries and the grails. And I'm already seeing like other properties that I would never expect to be this drop. Like I saw Johnny Quest, which I love Johnny Quest. And I was like, whoa, like to me, I know there's some Johnny Quest pops, but when I saw the redeemables, I know we said it's really heavy on the Jetsons. Not that that's a bad thing, but they even did this with Nickelodeon, which bothered me. Like there should be one Jetsons pop. There should have been one Rugrats pop and then move on to another show. There's so many of them. Like, why are we picking so many of that property? I mean, I even had the issue with DC. Like, there shouldn't have been two Batmans. Batman's one of my all-time favorite characters, but there shouldn't have been two. So, and I've seen a lot of people in the community, they're pumped for this drop, but they're kind of saying the same thing. Like, these Jetson pops are awesome, but why? I think 3 of them are Jetsons.
Yeah, of like what, the 5?
The 5.
Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. I was gonna say this exact same thing. You basically, said what I thought. I know we've spoken about this before, and we both agree. Where it's an amazing line, it's awesome, it's popular, it's cool, it makes sense, it totally fits with NFTs. It's obviously a popular line for Funko. because we know that they make so many. I mean, one, the Hanna Barbera cartoon, animation, whatever it is, company itself makes so many different cartoons and different characters. So we already know that they have a lot to choose from. Being animated, I feel like, is usually very easy transition into a Funko Pop. It then became a very easy transition into a Funko Soda. And that's why a lot of times ad icons and the Hanna-Barbera specific type, like those two, I feel like are always ones that they're going to have enough characters to make, and they're going to make them, and they're going to do, multiple, whatever they have to do with them. So when it came out as NFT, it wasn't a surprise. It was surprised that it took this long, I guess you could say, right? I feel like it would have been one of the first ones. But it's cool that they did it. Now, when you look through all the cards, 100%. If you're a hardcore card, NFT card collector, like you have a great library to go through with these Hanna-Barberas, because there's so many different cartoons, there's a lot of different characters, and you're getting options, which I feel like sometimes they drop the ball on with other lines where they duplicate a lot. Like, for instance, the cereal one that had came out, which was actually Kellogg's. They duplicated a lot of the same characters, even in the card form. But when those redeemables came out, they had different redeemables. Like you got a variety of redeemables. So for the most part, they usually do. I know the Batman one, they doubled up in Batman, which made no sense. But for this one, I feel like it's the worst in the terms of like overall redeemable, like what they have, like what they put out. Like Jetsons is great, like you said, totally cool. Make a Jetson one. All right, do a different cartoon. All right, do a different one. Like, how are some of these other iconic Hanna-Barbera cartoons not one of the ones that are redeemables? And even if you want to do the not popular and the more niche and like kind of
what I think they should have done,
do that. That's totally fine. But like you said, there's like 3 different Jetson ones, and like at first, it's funny. This is how obviously bad this little thing was. Is that when I saw the drop, I was like, "Oh, Jetsons, cool!"
Me
like
too.
now Funko 100%. Jetsons NFT pop, okay. And even that, I was like, "That's cool." There'll be enough different characters with Jetsons. They got a bunch of different cards. They're gonna make them look cool. They're gonna be flying around. They're gonna be whatever. But then I looked at because the first one I saw was just the redeemables. Then I got like the official, someone posted the official like the drop page where you see the time and everything. And it says Funko X Hanna-Barbera. And I'm like, Hanna-Barbera? I was like, holy crap. Because one, I had to even think that Hanna-Barbera was Jetsons. Initially, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I did figure it out. I mean, Hanna-Barbera, I feel like, is the umbrella over so many cartoons that like you may not even realize.
Which makes me feel like they should have just done like, this is a Jetsons drop. Then we move on to like I said, Johnny Quest dropping it. And that may be a little too niche, but it's just like, it's just so random, not to keep saying the same thing over and over, but I just don't get the three Jetsons ones. And like, I like them though. It's not that I don't like them.
No, they're cool. It's just I mean, it's just a weird one. It's something that we're not like, we're not loving it. We think they could have done a better job, basically.
And
like,
which now
I'm still gonna try to get these actually. Like I haven't gotten NFTs in a while, and I'm gonna try for these, but
the Grail is the only one that's not Jetsons actually too. So all the legendaries are Jetsons.
All of them? So there's 4 or 3.
Right? There's 3 legendaries. The Grail is Huckleberry Hound, which
that's obviously makes sense.
And then Space Ghost is the Freddy Funko, which that's pretty awesome.
Royalty one, which is cool. And that one is cool. And so that's what's crazy. The 2 first ones are like amazing, knock it out of the park. The Jetson ones, I think, like you said, they're good. I think one of them you could be like, that's amazing. But I think having 3 kind of downgrades like all 3 of them essentially, because it doesn't get you as excited than if you had those and then you threw in another old cartoon or something, But
it's weird. It's like I'm looking at all the redeemables now, though, which I didn't think of before. It's all space themed because the Huckleberry Hound is wearing a space suit.
Which that's why I think initially I thought it was just a Jetsons, because I'm like, I just saw space right away. And I'm like, well, obviously, because Space Ghost as well. But then I'm like, what? But it's saying it's just Huckleberry, or not Huckleberry, it's saying it's just Hanna-Barbera. it doesn't say like Space Hanna Barbera, which obviously would be a little weird, but I I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like I told you, this is a line that they've made. Like how do we not have a Flintstones one?
Yeah,
Like, how is that not one of the ones?
I agree.
Like, because there's like if I had to think of like, because obviously Jetsons is big, Flintstones is obviously big. Like I'm trying to look like some other ones like that were in the Hanna Barbera like type, but a lot of these we have soda versions of these. Like they blew up the sodas for the
Yeah,
banana splits. That they have the shark. They have Scooby Doo, but Scooby Doo got its own line, so that's fine. Yogi Bear is in soda, so how is he not? And these are like big names, iconic like characters, and they just stuck with
yeah.
the Jetsons. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
It-
Let us know what you guys think, because I mean, on our end, I think it's weird. Like again, we're gonna try to go after them. It's just more nitpicking. Like
yeah,
why did
we're just
they
giving our
just
opinion. Like
why
I
did they
want
pick
them.
this? Yeah. But I mean, it's cool. They do look cool, like as redeemables in general too, even though they are because they all have like the little space helmets on them and stuff too. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much the news. Well, at least the news and a bunch of ranting.
Yeah.
In regards to like a lot of stuff that happened recently.